On New Year's Eve, my CEO husband's secretary stopped my plainly dressed father-in-law at the door. "You old country dog. Do you think you can just walk in anywhere? Mr. Sterling is hosting a New Year's banquet here today. Just because your daughter married well doesn't mean you can come here and freeload." She smashed the farm fresh eggs my father-in-law had brought, the thick, yellow yolk splattering all over his face. Then, she forced him to his knees. "Lick up all this mess on the floor. If you leave even a single trace, I'll make you pay." Afterward, she smugly recorded a video and sent it to me. "Chloe, hurry up and come collect your dog of a father. If you're late and he gets snatched by a dog catcher, I won't be held responsible." When I received the insulting video from Mia, my hand shook with rage. I immediately called her. "Mia, apologize to my father right now, or you won't be able to handle the consequences." "Tisk, TSK, what consequences couldn't I handle? It's just insulting an old dog." Mia's voice remained as smug and arrogant as ever. "Let me tell you, I already called Mr. Sterling. He gave his tacit approval." "Tacit approval? Impossible. I'm telling you, that is Ethan's father." "Huh?" Mia acted as if she had just heard the funniest joke in the world. "Do you really think that just because you married Mr. Sterling, you've suddenly become a phoenix? Let me tell you, your father is your father. Does he think he can just use the title of father-in-law to act like he's Mr. Sterling's dad? In his dreams." With that, she raised her voice. "Security, no need to wait anymore. Throw this old dog out. Did you hear that, Mrs. Sterling? I've already had your father, that old dog, thrown out. If you want to find him, go look in the dumpster outside." Mia let out a venomous laugh and hung up. Worried about my father-in-law and ignoring my anger for the moment, I immediately called Ethan. "Ethan, Dad was at the hotel entrance and got kicked out by your wonderful secretary. Go down and get him right now. Don't let him suffer any more humiliation." "Chloe, Mia told me about this. Today is the company's New Year's banquet. I invited family and friends. It really isn't appropriate for your dad to come." "What do you mean by that?" Hearing his words, I felt like a bucket of ice water had been poured over my head. For today's New Year's banquet, he had invited all his relatives, friends, and even company executives and close clients. Yet, my father was excluded. I originally thought he just forgot. It turned out that in his heart, my father wasn't even considered family. To think that when he was starting his business, my father sold his house to support him, and this was the repayment he got. My heart instantly turned completely cold. "So, you really did approve of Mia's behavior? So he and Mia both thought that was my father, and that meant they could insult him freely? Alright, I told you I know about it. You invited your dad to the banquet without asking, so it's a good thing Mia taught him a lesson. It'll stop you from inviting outsiders inappropriately in the future." "Outsiders?" I laughed out of sheer anger and yelled. "Ethan, let me repeat this one more time. That is your father. You'd better go get him right now." "Enough. We don't need to discuss this anymore. Freshen yourself up and get over here quickly. Don't say I didn't give you face by not even inviting my own wife on New Year's Eve." With that, Ethan hung up the phone. I laughed in fury. "If you don't even care about your own father, why should I be the one rushing?" Although I was incredibly furious at Ethan's behavior, after sitting quietly for a moment, I calmed down. Over the years, my father-in-law had been good to me. Every time he came to the city, he would bring farm fresh eggs and local specialties from the countryside to visit us. I couldn't just ignore him completely just because Ethan was a bastard. So, I ultimately couldn't harden my heart. Within half an hour, I arrived at the hotel. I walked quickly to the entrance, scanning the area anxiously. In front of the hotel's magnificent revolving doors, the immaculate marble floor reflected the cold light. It had already been cleaned spotless. "Oh, Mrs. Sterling, you got here so fast." Mia, dressed in a Chanel suit with flawless makeup, saw me rushing over and a mocking smile touched her lips. "Too bad, you're still too late. Where is my dad? Where exactly did you take him?" Ignoring the stares from the people around us, I demanded harshly.